Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of the Professor's Picks alongside the professor himself, Mr. Ken Golden. What's going
Hey,
on?
crazy day, crazy week, but I got a lot of crazy stuff.
Good.
So,
Well, our week kind of started off pretty good. Well, that was technically last weekend, but
yeah.
a lot of good pizza and some fun shopping at the Princeton Record Exchange, right?
So, yeah, I enjoyed Chris's video. So,
Did a really good job, didn't he? Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah.
So,
For those who didn't see it, Can's recorded a listening room episode which aired 2 nights ago when you guys are watching this, and he's showing off all of his purchases from Princeton Record Exchange last weekend, as well as a couple other things. It's very entertaining and insightful, so go check that out if you haven't already.
that was good. Oh,
Got a lot of good stuff for us today.
I got a lot of stuff. I got a
Okay,
lot.
cool.
So, before we get into what we have for this week, I'm just going to tease some of the stuff coming up. We just got a truck full of our upcoming release, of course, because of Prezi. Thank Prezi, you're going to see everything backwards. This is Sons of Ra, Standard Deviation. This is on our Free Electric Sound label. I think the street date is April 11th. Came out really nice. Eric, the guitarist, is also a graphic designer. Did a really,
Good.
yeah, it's really nice. So we're taking pre-orders on this. So getting a good reaction. Great band from Chicago. And then also for next week, get excited. Jethro Tull. So Jethro Tull, you could see Ian back there. And
Good album.
yeah.
I
And
like
then
it.
and there's if you could see there's vinyl there, and then there's box sets and all going out next week. So for Streets next Friday. So it's good.
Cool.
So let's do this week. All right, let's get Prezi going. We're going to do the pre-orders first. We got two albums from a band from Pennsylvania that some of you may recall called Echolin. So we have there are two separate albums. Um, First one is called Time Silent Radio 2, and the next one is called Time Silent Radio 7. Time Silent, I've heard the album, made one pass through both albums. Very, very good. Very good. Time Silent Radio 2 is two very long tracks. If I remember correctly, track two was like 38 minutes or something like that. The second CD, Time Silent Radio 7, shorter tracks. When you have a 38-minute track, everything is shorter, right? So I mean, just it's more of a collection of songs. Again, very much Echoland. They didn't skip a beat. It's been a while, but it sounds like they sound great. So I am projecting a street date of March 21st, plus or minus maybe a week. I think the band was expecting them mid-month, but way pressing plants go, anything could happen. So when we have them, we'll ship them. So that's one pre-order. Well, I should mention because a lot of people have asked because they're the same street date. People have asked if they could order them together. We encourage people to order them together. Uh, they'll save postage, less processing for us. So yeah, we generally speaking, we don't like when people pre-order multiple titles that straight on different dates.
You're right.
That causes chaos for us. But here it's, you know, uh, makes perfect sense just to order them together, save money, save less work for us. Okay. Next thing that we have for pre-order, the Flower Kings, Love, new studio album. I think it's been a while. This is coming out on CD and a 2 LP black vinyl that comes out on May 2nd.
Inside Out.
Hmm?
Inside Out.
Inside Out. Yes, I should have mentioned that. Yes. And next from Inside Out,
Not sure I like that cover.
I gotta be honest. I hope nobody from Inside Out is. I don't like any of the or Rona. I don't like the Flower King artwork. That Adam and Eve that was an all-time stinker. It was like Adam and Eve, and like there was like an ape on the cover. I hated that. I'm not a big fan of this, so whatever. On a, a more constructive note, also on Inside Out, Taken. So another live set from Haken. This is called Live Forms Fauna Live in London, 3 CD Blu-ray, and also a 2 LP green vinyl. And that one streets the week after Flower Kings. It's on May 9th. Next we have last week we started taking pre-orders for IQ Dominion. Now we're taking pre-orders for IQ Dominion Orange Vinyl. I'm assuming it's the same street date of March 28th. Let's get to the regular CDs for the week. This one, bit of a surprise. Banco del Mucho Soccorso, Seguendo la Trace. So this came out many years ago. This is a new edition of it, and it is a live recording from 1975. I guess it was probably a soundboard. It's very good. I mean, is it the ultimate audiophile quality? No, but it's more than acceptable. And it's prime Bonko, 1975. There's so little live Bonko out there. Even back when I was a tape trader, there were cassettes floating around, but man, they sounded rough. They were really bad. So I'm looking. So you get so CD1 is the CD that came out years ago, but there's a second CD which has almost 27-minute version of Metamorphosis, 11-minute version La Conquista de la Pasione Ereta, and then it ends with Tracia. So you get a nice I don't know how many extra minutes, but the whole thing is I think it says, oh, it's kind of hard to read. My eyes are going. I think it's like 91 minutes. Anyway, so took a great album and
It's a nice set.
they made it even better. Next one, this one, this one. I got a bunch of things this week that really came out of left field. Like they showed up late. I haven't really spent a tremendous amount of time with them, but here's one. I'm not even sure I can pronounce this correctly. It's called Barrier Deer, Liminal Spaces. It's on the Rock Shots label out of Italy. I believe they're an Italian band. Very much influenced by Leprous and Pain of Salvation. They also mentioned Gojira. I don't know enough Gojira to tell you, oh yeah, these guys are ripping Gojira off right and left. But clean vocals from what I heard of it, and progressive and pretty good. And it does have a bit of that Leprous and Pain of Salvation sound. I got to speak slower, maybe.
Palsation.
Yeah. So
You don't want to say the whole thing? Palsation works.
there you go. So that's that from Italy. Another one from Italy. I had a lot of interest in this band, their previous album, so I went a little heavy on this one. Blacksmith Tales, The Pathway to Hamlet's Mill. And vocals are in English. They talk about it having like a folk influence. I really didn't hear that. To me, this was like bombastic, more like a rock opera style. There's some heavy guitar, but I wouldn't call it metal. The two main songwriters are keyboards. There's lots of keyboards on the album. There's more of like a medieval feel to this record. It kind of reminded me a bit in a way of like Trans-Siberian Orchestra. It's kind of big, kind of going for like a big sound, kind of like an orchestrated sound. Male and female vocals, pretty good.
I like the cover.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Oops. Yeah. The next one you reviewed positively, I believe. Blind Golem, Wunderkammer.
Yep.
So you liked it. I like it.
I like it a lot, yeah.
So you tell me if I'm wrong. I hear in the vocalist, I hear a lot of Ian Gillan.
Yeah, it's like Ian Gillan, David Byron. The music is very much Heat Purple type of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're certainly cut from that cloth. Yeah,
yeah, and very very good. And I like the Rodney Matthews cover.
yeah, yeah.
We didn't get the vinyl. I'm not sure why we didn't get the vinyl, but we didn't get the vinyl. We will get the vinyl someday. But we got a lot of CDs and stuff. Here's one that just showed up a couple hours ago, so I haven't been able to dig into it at all. N-Bound, Set It Free. What do my notes tell me? It tells me it's a 2 CD set. melodic metal. Uh, Kevin Moore plays on this.
Wow.
I'm sure it's just a guest shot. I
Probably
don't think.
plays on one song, right?
Yeah, probably. So, but yeah, they touted it as melodic metal, and
Yeah.
there was there's some other guests on it. Like I said, it was like a last minute thing, and it just showed up. Looks like a death metal cover, but my from what I understand, it's not at all. Swedish melodic metal. Okay, It Bites FD. This is the new version. This is Francis Dunnery's version of It Bites Live and Natural. This is a Blu-ray 2 CD set. Were you ever an It Bites fan? Oh
That
my
very
God.
first album is okay for what it is. I don't know. It never did a lot for me.
I won't go into it again, but I've told the story that I saw them open for Robert Plant in London. So not my thing, but got a lot of fans, so
Yeah,
he's
they
okay.
do. They do.
Region free Blu-ray and 2 CD set. Next, Car Mechanic Transmutation. So this is Jonas Reingold, Steve Hackett's bass player, former Flower Kings bassist, and he's been doing Car Mechanic for years. He did it. He did it originally. I think it was on Regain Records. Then he was on Inside Out. Now he's put that out on his own Rheingold Records label, and he's called in all the you know anything he was owed. So he's got playing on this thing. Steve Hackett, Simon Phillips, Nick DiVirgilio, Craig Blundell. He's got John Mitchell on there, Randy McStein, Lolly Larson, Andy Tillison, Thomas Bowden, Luke Mashin, Goran Edman, who's the vocalist on all the Car Mechanic albums, Rob Townsend, Roger King. I mentioned Goran Edman again, Andy Tillison. I mentioned him again. So basically, you have like the Steve Hackett band plus all these other ringers. So he called in his chips and
Everybody but his former boss in the Flower Kings, basically.
yeah, nothing wrong with that. So good for him. Great bass player.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, if you're car mechanic, kind of, I'd say adjacent to like Flower King, melodic progressive rock. But some killer players on here. So Street Date is next Friday, but he's shipping early. We're shipping early. So order away. Another one from Italy. This one was a good one. Leth is the name of the band. It's called Il Cavaliere Inesistente. So I don't know a lot about these guys. Apparently, they made a album around 92, 93. Same band, and they dedicated it to the guy who was the founder of the band, but he doesn't play on the album. So I don't know if he's alive, dead, what the story is. Um, just very good. That rock progressivo Italiano, a lot of flute. It's pretty cool. So you like that classic Italian sound, you're gonna like that. And here's one I think you might like. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Pete's gonna like this record. Circe Link and Christian Nesmith. Have you heard this one?
I have it.
What did you think of it?
It's not bad.
I liked it. Uh, Christian Nesmith is Mike Nesmith's son. And I guess they're a couple. And Circe Link, she sings. She's totally fine. I hear a lot of Yes and some Gentle Giant in there. And there's another English band called Fragile that was kind of like with a female singer with Claire Hamill doing that Yes thing. Also, I think very good. But this one, like, this really kind of hits you over the head with the yesisms, if you will. A lot of long, it's all long tracks.
Yep.
I liked it. I thought it was very good.
That's pretty good. God, I think that came out what, about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago?
That
So,
old even.
yeah, it's been a few years already.
So it's some of my customers had asked me or suggested I bring it in, and Bill Mills, one of them. Bill, if you're watching this, thank you. And he had suggested it. So I contacted her and seriously, and they had hooked up with Think Like a Key label. So it's now out on Think Like a Key. And Yeah, so here it is. I liked it. It's good.
Yeah, I'm looking up just to see when.
I thought it was 2024, but
Could have sworn it was earlier than that, but
apparently she
I mean,
had
I could be wrong because I do have the old, so
I believe she had an album bore this. I'm not sure. I don't know.
she's done lots of stuff, but this was their first collaboration, if I remember correctly. Um, oh, I'm wrong. Geez, I reviewed it 5 months ago. Why does it seem like way longer than that?
Because Pete, man,
Because I'm doing too much.
it's just life, man.
Yeah,
Every,
just life. Yeah, so it was 2024. Okay. Seems like forever ago I talked about that. Anyway,
well, I listened and now I'm a believer. See what I did there?
yep.
All right.
Uh, his dad would be proud of you.
Yeah, there you go. I was a big Monkeys fan back in the day. It's kind of, you ever watch like the reruns? It's
I
kind of like,
haven't in many years, but I used to watch those all the time.
I find them to be a little unwatchable now.
Oh, they're ridiculously corny. Yeah, yeah.
But I remember like, with Frank Zappa
I
and
was a kid though, boy.
all that stuff. Oh God, all the things I used to watch when I was a kid. Get Smart. I mean, the Munsters. I mean,
Yeah.
these are not reruns, guys. We're talking about, I remember watching the very first episode of Star Trek with my grandmother sitting in her bedroom. She had one of those big TVs, that weighed about 800 pounds with a tiny, like a little 19-inch screen. And we're watching the very first episode of Star Trek. And she was probably terrified, and I was probably terrified. 1966, I think that was. Oh, I'm,
Yeah, right about that. Or 66, 67, something like that.
I'm so fucking old. All right, next. Nightingale, Alive Again. This is the reissue. Dan Swano. This is like, if you like Nightingale, to me, it's like AOR mixed with prog. And it's a live album. I think, being bad, I didn't take any notes on it. I believe there may be some extra tracks on there. I think it's the second disc. So, anyway,
Good
there you
album.
go.
Good band.
Finally, this was Riverside Live ID. This has been bumped. So we've had the vinyl for over a month. This CD set, it's a 2 CD Blu-ray. This has been out in Europe also for about a month, but they had pushed the street date for the US. So please stop emailing me. We've shipped out your copy if you pre-ordered it. Next, we got two from Tiger Moth Tales. We've got Cocoon, the 10th anniversary edition, and we have Inside the Cocoon. So, Tiger Moth Tales is Peter Jones, very talented English singer and keyboardist and guitarist. Um, Peter Peter is visually impaired, and but man, that doesn't stop him at all.
Good singer.
Good and great singer, has a lot of Peter Gabriel in his voice. So Cocoon was, let's say, maybe their most successful album, So they've done a 10th anniversary reissue, and it has a bonus track. So Inside the Cocoon has the CD. It's a CD DVD. The CD has what they're calling behind the scenes audio from Cocoon's creation. It has some unreleased live tracks, and the DVD has a live acoustic Tiger Moth Tail set from Netherlands, I believe, in 2024. He does Tiger Moth Tales tunes, and he does some Genesis covers. So there's that. He's very prolific. He seems to be very prolific on a lot of stuff. So a band that I think we got some people excited about. We brought in some more titles from Trigon, Herzberg 2004, and Emergent. These are older albums, but which we sold in 2004 and 2005, and we haven't had them in a while, but people seem to be digging what they do. So it's sure, come on, let's good band. I'm kind of surprised in a way that they didn't get more attention over the years.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that style of music hit a little too early because I know now it's pretty common doing what they're doing. This whole kind of like jammy kind of psychedelic space rocky type of thing, right? Heavy on the guitar soloing
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Don't expect keyboards. I mean, if if there's a keyboard on the album, it's because Raina dropped his guitar on one by accident. So it's heavy stuff, and it really what they do incredibly well. So, and if you want to hear him do, oh, and actually, Nick from Frog Cafe is a guest on this. This is from the Herzberg Festival, 2004. Frog Cafe were playing at the festival, so he plays with them on one or two tracks actually. Yeah, kind of cool. So here's an album that had absolutely no buzz on it, and this album has really got me excited. I love this record. So it is an Italian quartet called Ujig, and the name of the album is Ujigami. They're an instrumental fusion quartet. These guys can play. It's fusion. I wouldn't call it contemporary jazz. To my ears, it's just a fusion album. It's not. It's just not all high-powered killing. These guys are just incredibly tasteful. There's plenty of solos, and when they solo, it's great. I mean, they take this beautiful guitar work on here, um, keyboards, just master musicians. I can't. It's almost hard for me to put this album in words. It's like these guys, they see the big picture. They're going for something to me on a grander level. Um, it's There's actually a section there's a track in the middle which is orchestrated, and it's I don't know. It's hard for me to put in words. It's
what's the
fusion.
name of the band again?
It's hard to. It's UJIG. And if you want to hear it, you have to go on YouTube, and it's called Ujigami. They went to like Berkeley, but like Berkeley in like Italy or something like that. And I got to. There's one other thing I got to talk about here. I don't know that I've been running a label for a long time, and I don't understand bands that sign with labels where the labels do absolutely nothing to promote their artists. So this is a band that nobody knows about. This album came out 2 years ago. We're just hearing about it now, right? And it's like I stumbled on this thing, and you can't find reviews of the album. How does a label not even send? And I'm not saying, hey, pack these guys up and put them on the road and finance a tour. But how about do some level of promotion? You know,
Yeah, there's nothing.
There's nothing. You can't find anything. And I went to the band's label's website, which is called Luminol Records, and they have a number of bands on their label. They're listed there. You see a picture of the band. You don't even get a bio. You get nothing. And it's for every one of their artists. I don't understand it. It's like, how do you, I don't know. I just don't get it. I mean, and I'm picking on them, but there are a lot of bands like that, a lot of
Oh,
labels,
tons.
a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, I hate to say it, but the Italian labels are the worst offenders. So there are some Italian prog labels which are putting out some really, really good releases, but you don't know what they are.
Yeah,
And
they're dying a slow death because there's no
yeah,
exposure whatsoever.
yeah. I mean, guys, this is a band that deserves your attention. This is a beautiful album. Chad picked up on it. He loves it. I got to tell you, I put it on yesterday, and when it was over, I put it on again. I don't remember the last time I did that with a record. So I mean that tells you something. I kind of like the cover as well.
Yeah, I do too.
Kind of cool. I don't know what they're up to. I don't even know if they're still together. So, but I got to tell you, these guys, they're they're going for something that's just a little, to my ears, a little broader than just a straight up blazing fusion album. Like I said, when they solo, very tasteful, really, really like wow, but it's not constant. They just don't hit you over the head. There's a lot of subtlety in this record, which is not to imply that it's quiet in any way. There are some quiet parts to it, but it's it's just it's a great record, simply a great record. And I'm glad I came across it. And I think if you dig fusion, I think you're gonna like it. So, all right, that's it for CDs. There weren't really too many restocks. There were a few odds and ends. You'll find them on the website. And I'll just run through the vinyl and we're out of here. This is, I believe, the 50th anniversary of Ashra Temple starring Rosie, which was about at this point it was just Manuel Gotching and his girlfriend Rosie Miller, and a lot of tape loops and guitar excursions and keyboards, and it's great cosmic music. So one of the classics, and from the late Manuel Gotching. Nightingale, Alive Again, black vinyl. Alan Parsons Project, Pyramid, one of their classic albums. This is a 2 LP version cut at 45 RPM, done, I believe, at Abbey Road, cut by Miles. What's Miles Scholl's last name? I think it's Miles Scholl, I believe. And yeah, so it's a deluxe edition. There is one restock. We got the Trigon Cosmic Crowd Jam. We got that back in stock. And it was funny because I got to tell you, Pete, you and I were talking about this the other day. So I was with some of my audiophile buddies last night, and I broke out that album. And when it was over, they were like, first it was like, "What the fuck is that?" And then it was like, one guy said, "Sounds like Robin Trower."
See? I picked up on that immediately.
I said, my friend just, that's funny that you said that. So yeah, so not a bad recording, by the way. E-Rock recorded it, and he mixed and mastered it, and yeah, it's very very live sounding, because that's what it is. It's a live jam, and you get that killer, you get the killer first side long track, 2 tracks I think it was on side two, and that great artwork. And there's no CD. If they said, I think if they can dig out of the hole and sell through their vinyl or something like that, I think maybe they'd be amenable to putting it out on CD. It deserves a CD.
It does. And folks can expect a review of it from me probably over the weekend. So, and Ken's got stock on the vinyl, so scoop it up.
All right, the last one we got, and this is a weird one. I think this was too weird for you. Wyatt E. It's called, oh God, wait, I got to tell you what the name of this thing is. Zamaro Ultu Gerub Zugaratu, Part 1. So, how do you describe the indescribable? This is a Belgian band. This, like a lot of moving parts to this record. They call it doom metal. They drone metal. It's doomy, but it's not like Pentagram or Saint Vitus or Trouble. It's nothing like that. It's just sort of doomy in atmosphere. It has this feeling of evil, like foreboding. It's got an ancient Middle Eastern theme. It's just very epic sounding. It's like, to me, it's like you're listening through a time tunnel to something that's going back 3,000 years. It's just variety of instrumentations. There's some Middle Eastern instruments, the zaz. I don't think there's sitar, but I think there's some zaz on there, and it just sort of moves slowly. It builds tension, almost like in a magma-esque way, but sounds nothing like magma. So nothing like that. It's got female and male vocals, just big and just, I don't know. It's like, it's hard.
Yeah, it's one of the strangest things I've heard on from Heavy Psych Sounds records in quite a while.
Liked it.
Did I like it? No, it wasn't for me. It
I
wasn't
liked
for
it.
me, but you liked it. Yeah, I know you told me you loved it, and I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Very
definitely weird. It's definitely out there for people who want to try something completely different. I would say give it a try. It's
well, yeah,
definitely that.
I don't have the CD. The CDs doesn't seem to be available yet. I'll bring in the CD uh, when it's available. It's yeah, it's just, there's no death vocals. It's all clean vocals. But like I said, it's just kind of doomy. It moves slowly. It moves at at its own pace. But it's yeah, it's just like I said, it just builds this tension, and it's big, but like man, it's just kind of it's odd. It's really hard to describe. Go on Bandcamp, check it out. Go listen to it. See if it's your thing. If it is, we got vinyl on it. So
Cover's great.
and hopefully we'll have yeah, isn't that cool? And it's not their first album, so Heavy Psych Sounds saw something in these guys. So
Got quite the roster now of artists, boy, at that label. Between them and Ripple Music, man, there's some great bands on both of those labels.
yeah, Ripple are American,
Yeah,
but Heavy Psych Sounds are Italian.
Italian, yeah. Yeah, you got them. Then you got Stickmen, which is over in
He's German.
Germany. Yeah. And then trying to think, Small Sounds, I believe they're from here as well. There's all these labels that have all this kind of doomy stoner psych stuff.
Small Stones, right? Small
Yeah,
Stones.
Small Stone, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember if they were English or where they were from.
Yeah,
But
they're
yeah,
from here. They're from here. I
here, yeah, they put out some
think
cool
they're
stuff.
out west somewhere, if I remember correctly. But Ripple, yeah, I mean, Ripple stuff I think comes from Jersey or somewhere in New York. Like whenever I order anything from them, I get it next day. Always, it's local.
Right. So, so that's what I got, and yeah, there's more stuff on the way.
Cool.
So,
So as always, we'll have everything pinned down in the comments below, so you can go copy and paste over at lasercd.com and check out all these new releases. But make sure you take a look at the whole front page because there's always a lot of new stuff being thrown up there. So
and we're constantly adding, constantly. So I might even be holding back some stuff for next week.
see that? You never know.
You never know.
Never
Yeah,
know.
it's cool.
Well, happy shopping, everybody, and stay tuned for next week where we'll have even more stuff for you. And coming up this weekend, we've got Jamie Laszlo and the review crew happening tomorrow night. And then we've got on Sunday, Chad Hutchinson, Eric Porter, and myself will be ranking the solo albums of Kim Mitchell, guitarist and vocalist from Max Webster. So that's coming up on Sunday, and you may see some other stuff as well. So stay tuned for all that. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. It's almost like we do this show. This is like the beginning of the weekend, right?
Yeah,
3 o'clock on a Friday. Not when we tape it, of course, but when everybody's watching it. This is like the enter the weekend show.
well, it's true because we get a lot of people in chat while it's preparing, right? And then when it's over, I say we get that flurry where it gets like kind of crazy, and then right as we get close to like around 4:30, 5 o'clock, it dies until everybody goes home and they have their dinner, and then they start hitting the website. It's the weekend, It's like
Yeah.
it's cool.
Away goes. Yep, exactly. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week here on the Professor's Picks. Enjoy your weekend. For Ken Golden, I am Pete Pardo. Have a good one. We'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye bye.